Things had been tough for me and my mother ever since my father left us 2 years ago. At least I was old enough to get myself from school, home, and back again, and I knew my way around a microwave. But I wasn't old enough to get a job, sadly, and help pay the bills that were piling up. My mother decided to get a second job, a night job, maybe part-time, and not something to be really proud about, but it helped to keep our heads above water and our power on. That was the most important thing. I remember the first night like it was yesterday. My mother apologising up and down for having to leave me alone. I told her I'd be fine, and honestly, I was pretty excited for it. She wouldn't be home until late, and that means I could stay up as late as I wished, and also there was a monster movie marathon on. So, what kid would complain at this? It was around 9:30, and I was just right in the thick of some Japanese gore fest when I heard something outside. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me. Maybe it was the movie who got to me. Either way, I certainly had to check it out. I hesitantly peered out of the living room window, looking left and then right. But nothing. Then I noticed directly across the way a man just standing in his window, just staring. I couldn't really tell what he was staring at, but it certainly freaked me out anyway. I stood at the window for at least what could be a few minutes, as long as my heart could bear it in fact, and he didn't move an inch. That was it for me. That was done. I was done with monster flicks, I was done with the freaky dude in his window, so I went and tried to sleep. The next morning, I told my mother about the man. First, she was furious I was up so late, and then asked if I had been watching scary movies. Needless less to say, I got the "it was all in your imagination" speech from her. And that, sadly, was that. That night, after my mother left once more, I didn't feel comfortable alone whatsoever. It was like that comfortable feeling of somebody watching you and knowing their eyes were on you. So yes, it wasn't very nice. Just after 9 again, I swear I heard something. It was just like last night, except there was something no horror movie marathon could compare to. Against what my brain was screaming, was absolutely bellowing at me, I pulled myself again to the window. There he was, the man who just stared out of his window. This time I darted away as quickly as I could and ran to my room. My little feet fell twice on the stairs, but the impending doom I felt hurried my feet. It was so weird. It got the hair on my neck even standing up on end. The next morning I told my mother, but she brushed it off once more, saying he was just a nervous old man and it had nothing to do with me. I wasn't so sure, but what could I do? My mother left for work that night, even though I begged her and pled for her to stay home. I tried to take my mind off the man. I watched TV. I played music. I even did all my homework. But still, I wondered if he was out there, staring from his window at me, or God knows what. My curiosity, sadly, got the better of me, and I made my way slowly to the window. My fear was realized in that moment because there he was. The man in the window, just staring. I tried to keep my presence a secret and see just how long he would stand there staring into the void. My heart felt like it was going to leap out of my chest, but I stayed there at the window defiantly. It seemed like I was in some sort of weird staring contest with the man. Then it happened. He moved away from the window, and I breathed, to be honest, a sigh of relief. My mother was right after all. I was worried about nothing. Suddenly, his front door opened, and my comfort changed to dread in an instant. I watched from my window, trying my best not to be seen, watching him walk down his driveway, then across the street, then beginning to walk up my driveway. I choked in fear and ran for a telephone. I dialed 911 as fast as my fingers could go, and waited, my heart jackhammering a million miles an hour in my chest. Finally, an answer. I explained to the lady that I thought somebody was trying to break into my home, and she said help would be on the way. But first I had to tell her my address. I managed to get the first 3 numbers when I was grabbed from behind. I dropped the phone and felt these dirty, greasy hands wrapping themselves around me. I screamed as loud as I could and shook myself trying to break free, but I was lifted from the ground. I could feel the hot breath on my neck, smell of stale, rotten stench of my attacker. I couldn't help but start to cry, screaming my lungs out for my mother, for anyone, just to help me. Then there was a thud, and I was suddenly falling with the man forwards towards the floor. We hit, and his grip loosened around me. I rolled away and scrambled behind the couch. Then I heard a voice say, "It's okay, you're safe now." I looked up shaking and bewildered. There were 2 men, one on the floor who wasn't moving, and another standing there with a baseball bat. "You're okay," he said again. "I'm your neighbour from across the way." My jaw dropped in confusion. "I've noticed a strange man lurking around your house every night for the past few days, and was concerned about you, and thought you might be in danger. I noticed your mum leaving and knew that you were here all by yourself." The police arrived shortly after, and between our 2 stories, the mysterious assailant was taken into custody. I thanked my neighbour as much as my little body could. I've always felt scared, but now I feel as safer than I could. I always look outside now, and when I see the man in the window across from me, I smile and I give him a little wave. Hi guys, long time no see. This is Kindarous here, and thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, it really helps my channel. I know I've been gone for what seems forever, but now I'm back and I've got new equipment, so I hope you like the story. Please comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and if you're interested, this story I got from the Reddit No Sleep, so go on there, you might find something else. If the author can actually find the story and tell me if it is theirs, I will credit them, I will edit the description, but I couldn't find the author of the story. Thank you for listening. Kindarous out.